Morning, morning. What's going on, everyone? Look, Mr. Z is a couple minutes tardy. Better than my, better than average, right? Morning to everyone. And in this video, as promised, we will be going over the Roger Report. Shout out to the Roger Report in Compassionate and Callous. And the Roger Report, the title of this video, and by the way, it's really short, so if you haven't checked it out yet, the link is in the description. And the title is Daddy's Little Princess, or is Daddy's Princess? Daddy's Princess is an asshole. And yes, yes, some of you girl dads are raising perpetually single assholes. I'm just saying, right? You're raising entitled brats. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it, right? So, in the link you'll see the video. It's about maybe 30 seconds long or such. And you'll see that the Roger Report goes through how some of you girl dads are raising the women that are going to be crying on your shoulder when she realizes the world, and that's men. And by the way, shout out to all you wannabe swirlers and divestors. You too will be crying on your daddy's shoulder because he raised an entitled brat who thought she was going to be mean and a-hole to black men and then be the same to non-black men and somehow land a husband. I don't know. I don't know how this is supposed to work, right? So, Laraj talks about the fallout of this, right? Of blowing smoke up your daughter's rear end, not really telling her how men operate, how men think, how men feel, what men find attractive. And if you're raising a heterosexual daughter that you hope one day will be married and bring you grandchildren, right? Then you're not doing your daughter any services by hiding the reality of the world to her, hiding the reality of men to her, lying to her about how, well, if he really loves you, he's going to bring you the moon and the stars and kiss your ass, right? And for many of you girl dads, that's what you're doing. You blowing smoke up your daughter's rear end. You're either never talking to her about it or you're lying to her about how men think, feel, and operate. You reprimand and chastise boys and men in front of her, namely your sons. That's why your sons are coming home with non-black women. Oops. Right? You're doing the Steve Harvey. You're doing the Shaq. You're doing the Jordan Peterson. You're doing the Dave Ramsey. Right? And your daughters are clapping it up for y'all. And then 25, 26, 27, 30, 32, 35, 40. Uh-oh. Your daughter not married and she don't got no kids. Not married, no marriage prospects, no children, and you steadily, well, it's because the men are not stepping up and they're not real men. And what happened to the real men? And you put in the Dave Ramsey, you women need to stop babying your sons and kick them out. Yeah. Trust me. Mama kick us out and we still won't date your a-hole, mean, condescending, entitled, bratty, petulant child-ass daughter. Sorry, Dave. Daughters behold 42 years old. When it comes to men, intimacy, and relationships, she's 12. Sorry, she's 7. You girl dads are raising, well, perpetual little girls. So yes, men, yes, black men in the black manosphere, yes, we have an issue with what single moms are producing in their homes. Yes, it's a real thing. It's a real issue. And on the other end are women coming from two-parent households. Two-parent household where daddy was involved. He wasn't just there, he was an involved father. and he raised an entitled brat, right? Shout out to Chrissy. Chrissy told you. I think she was raised by her stepfather, her father, her uncle, her brother, all these people to do something to somebody for her. And listen to her speak. Uh-oh. Kim Foster's father was part of her life. Listen to her speak. Whoops. Yanni's father was part of her life. Listen to her speak. Uh-oh. So it's not just the Cynthia G's, right? It's not just the Princellas. Oh no. The girl dads are producing some of the worst people on the face of the earth too. We get it, player. You feel guilty because when you were in your 20s, you was out here doing what you was doing with the women. So you try to overcompensate by raising a-hole daughters. And then you wonder why your daughter don't got no damn man or can't keep one. You do the blame black man thing. Your daughter thinks she Halle Berry, and she get Halle Berry results. Oops. You paying child support to 2 white men. Oh, goddamn. Right? For those of you that don't get what I'm saying about Halle Berry, dated and married a bunch of black men, blame the black men, turn around, date, marry white men. Doesn't work. Of course it doesn't. And it's not back to dating black men. Because it was always her. She was always the issue. Easy to blame. That shout out to the brother Edward Anderson. That's why we tell you to date out. Yeah, black men ain't ish. Go date non-black men. You'll be back here in a decade. And that's for the black men that I have you. You girl dads are not doing your duty. Let me just call a thing a thing. As a person that dated daddy's little girls whose fathers were involved in their life, those women are still single. Mr. Z's in his mid-30s. When I say single, I don't mean single like they're not married but they have a boyfriend. I mean single. Like nothing, not no prospect. So your daughters, you're raising them, and they may be good employees. They may be good students. They might be great daughters, and they are absolutely atrocious girlfriends. We can't even call them wives. They ain't never been married. If you're lucky, you might have a grandchild from her. If you're lucky. And for the few that have been married, they're already divorced by the time they're my age, in their mid-30s. Been a divorce. You blinked and she was married and then divorced because you raised a petulant child. You raised a petulant child. You girl dads are raising mean people. I know we don't like to use the word mean in the black manosphere. No, these women are mean and no man wants them. None. Daddy's little princess is an asshole. Go ask Rebecca Lynn Pope. And no, it's not just, upper tier women. If you're not telling your daughter the real, if you're not telling her, listen here, baby girl, men don't want a butterball. They rather not date a woman that's shaped like a 8 ball. I'm just, Listen, baby girl. If you in the men, I'm telling you now, all that snarkiness, the men that are gonna eat that are the men that you don't want. Forget what your mom telling you. Forget what your aunts are telling you. That's why your aunts are single. That's why I left your mom. Right? You girl dads need to be honest with your daughters. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. You girl dads need to be honest with your daughters. Listen, baby girl, hey, I'm sending you to school. I want you to get your education. So while you're single, you could be self-reliant and you could be the greatest person you want to be. You too can be president. But I'm telling you right now, men see that as a plus, but it's not the main course. Baby girl, if you're an asshole, that degree ain't gonna save you in the dating world. Are y'all saying that to y'all daughters? Most of y'all are not. Shout out to Dead said he is, right? Shout out to the girl dads that actually raised decent daughters. Kevin C, Black Uru, BGS, Dead Set. Well, Dead Set's daughter is still young. But for all the rest of you that feel cringy about talking to your daughters about these type of things, or you blowing smoke up her ass, well, I hope you are prepared to not have grandchildren, or to be wiping the tears off of her face. Because millennial and Gen Z men ain't going. We're not. You raise an asshole daughter if you want to. You raise an entitled brat if you want to. Black men are gonna want to have nothing to do with her. Latino men are gonna want to have nothing to do with her. White men are gonna want nothing to do with her. And yes, it will be partially your fault. Right? Yes, it will be. To think that you can have this woman or this girl, and you are a man, you know how men think. You're a black man, you know how men think. You know what men like. You know what's a turn off to men. You know what to make men turn the opposite way and go running. And for you to raise someone that's going to be a terror in the dating scene, that's going to be an entitled brat, that's going to be a petulant child, that's going to be delusional, you are doing the world and the black community a disservice. You are doing the world and the black community a disservice. And the evidence shows itself. As your daughters get older and are perpetually single, as you go Thanksgiving after Thanksgiving and she doesn't bring any man to your doorstep, as you go Christmas to Christmas and she never brings any man to your doorstep. Now it depends, maybe she racking up kids or not, but either way, she never tell dad, I have somebody for you to meet, because there's nobody for you to meet. There's no one for you to meet. And you help to bring that about by raising a petulant child that you never told anything real to when it comes to men. And we're not telling you to show your daughter how to put a condom on. Because you know some girl dads, they act like, no, I can't do that. We're not telling you to teach your daughter how to put a condom on. That's not what we're saying. Grow up. We're telling you to be honest with her about how men work, and you know it. You're raising women that know how to acquire their own financial resources. That's great. They might be good employees. They might start their own business. Oh, that's great. Right? They might be great daughters. They're there when you call. They'll help you with technical stuff. That's great. All of that's great. And when it comes to men, brat, mean, condescending, delusional, selfish, self-centered, the princess that you raised. Oops. Now what? The princess that you raised. The entitled brat princess that you raised. You raised her to get it on her own, and she knows how to do that. You know what she don't know how to do? Get and keep a man. Not be a terror in the dating scene. Not be a petulant child. She don't know how to do that. So for some of you girl dads, yeah, put some of the onus, not all of it, maybe not most of it, maybe not all of it, but some of it on you. You were involved in your daughter's life, and she can't get and keep no man, and you don't think you're somewhat responsible for that? Oh yeah, no you are. And I said it. Yeah, maybe your wife is responsible more. Yeah, maybe your ex-wife. Yes. Maybe your baby mama. Yes. Maybe your girlfriend. Yeah. But if you think you're not somewhat responsible, oh, sorry. Sorry to tell you otherwise. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right. Y'all excuse the background. Excuse the background. So these are things that I think, as a not father, but who was dating some of these girl dads, excuse me, not girl dad, sorry, dating the princess, the little princess, your little princess. Yeah, I was dating your little princess. You don't want to date someone like your little princess. You don't. You don't want to date someone like your daughter. You definitely don't want to marry someone like your daughter. But you raised someone like your daughter. You know, your daughter, right? You raised someone like your daughter. You know your daughter. You raised your daughter, no romance without finance. You raised your daughter that girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. You did that. And now you can't get her out your house because she don't got no damn man. You might leave this plane of existence before you ever get a chance to walk her down the aisle. Right? So these are things that girl dads, at least for someone that was dating daddy's little girl, fathers that were involved, for those of you that were involved, this is something to consider. Are you raising an entitled brat? Are you raising a mean girl? Are you raising someone that's catty and snarky? Right? Or are you one of the hands-off dad that's allowing your wife or your girlfriend or your baby mom to raise that type of daughter? Right? And if you are, and you're telling men like me to toughen up, man up, you're now raising a little drone, you're not going to raise a little slave, understandable. Well, be prepared for your daughter to be out here year after year after year after year, single, 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 single. Now, be very clear. That doesn't mean your daughter not having sex. Uh-oh. That just means no man wants to commit. Or even worse, maybe your daughter is so entitled that there are men that are willing to commit. She's just such a spoiled brat because you know that's the way you raised her, that she doesn't think any of those men are worthy. Even men you would think are worthy, she doesn't think are worthy. You know, because you told her no man is good enough. Uh-oh. Well, that's a statement you didn't think was going to bite you in the ass. Right? Y'all are raising mean girls, entitled brats, petulant children, delusional women, and you wonder why you have a Yanny on your hands or a Chrissy on your hands. These women are doing fine financially, killing the game financially, can't get or keep any man. White, black, Latino, we're not even going to mention the Asians. That's not a thing. See, if it was just black men, see, okay, fine. If it was just the single moms raising these little soft boys that are in men's bodies, then why doesn't your daughter have a white man? Uh-oh. Why doesn't she have a Latino? Because they don't want anything to do with her either. That's why. You raise someone that's insufferable, at least for mating with, for staying with, right? And Detroit says, house party 3, anyone? These entitled brats. You and your wife produced an attractive young lady that grew up into a woman. That's great. You taught her hard work and discipline. That's great. Like, as I said before, she's a great student, a great employee, maybe a great daughter, right? But a horrible girlfriend and wife. And that's why your daughter can go year after year single. Exactly, Indigo Flow. No man is good enough for my baby girl. All right, then we'll see. Don't worry, the world will put that to the test. The universe will put that to the test. If you believe in God, God will put that to the test. Y'all raise some of the meanest people on the planet, and then wonder why your daughter can't get or keep a man, and then turn around and blame the single moms. Yeah, some of the single moms are raising boy men child, right? Boy men. Yes, and you're raising a petulant child also that just so happens to be 30. The difference is your daughter thinks she's better than that boy child, that man child. That's the difference. Both of them are children. Your daughter just thinks she's better than the single mom's son. When your daughter is the one that's $60,000 in student loan debt. Well, damn. Uh-oh. When your daughter is the one with the weight issue. Whoops. Oh. Uh-oh. When your daughter, and I said she might be a good employee. When your daughter is the one that can't keep a job. Oh crap. Are you sure that man that was raised by the single mom is worse than your daughter? All things considered, are you sure? Maybe, maybe not. Right? So on that note, we're gonna pause for a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mrs. E 1 second. And we're back. We are back. We are back. My apologies, everyone, for the long intermission. We're gonna have to do another one, but it's gonna be way shorter next time. Um, right. And Bruce on Wayne says, "So you're saying that it's just all around trash?" I don't know if I'm saying that, Bruce. What I am saying is that girl dads sometimes overcompensate, and they raise entitled brats. They raise mean people. They raise sharks. They raise chocolate dip female versions of white men. Ooh, Z. Ooh, ooh, right? Girl dads, and not only that. Hey, how many of us want to say girl dads raise same-sex loving butch women? Ooh, Z. Ooh, Z. Uh-oh, right? Some of those ladies on a space for us are girl dads. I'm sorry, not girl dads. Daddy's princesses. Some of those are daddy's princesses, right? Something to think about, ladies. Is your dad a girl dad? Did he raise you to be an entitled brat? Well, here's our 1-800 number. Save yourself, right? Over here, we teach you the real about how men move and operate, and we tell you the things your dad didn't tell you. You too can have a man worth a damn, right? And Ray Knowles says too much dead air. Research radio broadcasts on your presentation. Yeah. I know. We're working on it. We definitely have to find a little intermission song. We spoke about that yesterday. And this is all I'm saying, Rogish. And Rogish says this was entirely the situation with my my second ex-wife. I watched her father capitulate to her emotions time and time again. And then go ahead, Dad. Do what you think is best, and watch as man after man leaves your daughter the hell alone. Because nobody will tell your daughter, okay, yeah, it's you. The mom won't do it. You won't do it. Other siblings won't do it. Fine then. And it make it worse when y'all be having 2 and 3 daughters. Dear girl dads, when you have 2 and 3 daughters and neither one of them are married and never been married, your daughters in their late 30s and early 40s, ain't nobody got no man. Now what? Right? Better you said, I'm not gonna put it all on dads. Just 90%. Sometimes the mothers though too mothers tough to negotiate with, and they go along to get along. I understand that. I do. But if that's the case, then when we turn around in 20, 25 years, your daughter is 4 now. You see, she already showing signs. Your daughter's 5 now. She's already showing signs. 20 years later, 22 years later, now your 4-year old is 24. Now she's 26. Now what? She's prime dating age, right? And Detroit says, please again call 1-800 Black women are to kill you, right? And it's not just a black. This right here, particularly, oh, that's an American thing because white girl dads are raising petulant a-hole women too. Some of you Latinos also, but white girl dads and black girl dads, oh my God, y'all are raising terrors, right? Y'all are raising absolute menaces. So you go ahead and keep on blowing smoke up your daughter ass and watch if somebody like Rogish can't deal with her and they get divorced. I'm just saying. And Rogish says, I can even recall during one of the disputes that we had, one of her responses being, quote, my dad doesn't respond like that, end quote. It threw me for a loop at first. Then I explained to her I of how I wasn't going to be the sucker that her father was to her mother. Right? Better you saying a whole lot right. Better you loud right now. Ooh, you loud right now. And better you says, little white princess named Karen is the final sub boss. Yes, absolutely. That's the feminist right there, who's still married, by the way. Her husband is the final boss, right? Her younger sister is the sub final boss. The younger sister is the entitled brat a hole, same sex loving one that never got married to a man, right? Y'all are raising some entitled brats, and that's all Mr. Z is going to stress. Um, if you hope to be a grandfather one day to a daughter um, who is married in a heterosexual nuclear family, preferably to a black man with his head on his shoulders, then maybe you don't want to raise an entitled brat. As I said, you girl dads are doing a great job at making sure your daughters graduate high school and don't get pregnant young, right? Y'all doing great job. She takes school seriously. She's getting good grades. That's great, right? Nothing wrong with that. She started her own business. Oh, that's great. Or she's doing well in her career field. She just got promoted. That's great. But your daughter is 38 and ain't no man in sight. Not white, not black, not Latino, not nothing. And you know she ain't same sex loving. There go another one, Indigo Flow. My ex-wife is in her early mid 40s and still ain't got her ish together. Her pops was always cleaning up her messes and enabling her. We get it. That's going to be your little baby girl forever. But don't raise your baby girl to be a terror onto other men. Don't you want to stop paying her bill? Mr. Z, y'all already knew Mr. Z used to work at a law office. You know how many women, attorneys and paralegals making 50, $60,000 a year plus 70, 80 grand. It wasn't just the men, and dad is paying car insurance for them. Dad is paying cell phone for them. These are these are women with children in their 40s. Don't y'all want y'all daughters to get a man that's paying stuff so you could stop paying for stuff? How about you raise a daughter that's not insufferable? Once again, this is not about you showing your daughter how to put a condom on or how to throw it back. We're not saying that. We're not telling you to raise your daughter to be a slave to men. We are telling you to raise your daughter the best you can, not to be insufferable, not to be mean and condescending and catty and unbearable and be sexist towards men and be delusional. That way you can enjoy your life. You can enjoy your wife and not have to worry about your daughter having to call you every so often because she need to move out of this guy's house, or she needs you to help her move this guy out of her house for the dummies that actually move in with her. Right? Something to think about. See what I'm better you look at this. Better you says, I left a date. Oh, that's the Popeyes chick. I left a date with a chick once to go home and play Street Fighter 5. She worked the night shift at Popeyes and thought she was a master of the universe. I left her to pay her bill after she tried to run. Bruh. Y'all are, and that speaks to the entitlement. That's what I'm saying. Imagine having a bad date, being entitled, and then still expecting the man to pay for everything when both of y'all are pretty much like, yeah, this date wasn't the best. Your daughter don't have no honor when it comes to men. Oops. No character when it comes to these. By the way, remember, these are the women that turn around and tell you that men got to learn how to be likable now. You girl dads are raising your daughters to think they're actually likable. Your daughter thinks she's likable. Your daughter don't got no man, but she thinks she's likable. She can't keep a friend for more than 5, 6 years, but she thinks she's likable. You girl dads are contributing to that because your little princess doesn't think there's anything wrong with her. Your little princess got to seek therapy, and the therapist got to then turn around and blow smoke up her ass to keep her coming and spending money with the therapist, probably another black woman. Ugh, even worse, maybe a white woman. Because you and your wife, you and your girlfriend, you and your baby mom raised an entitled brat. This is all I'm saying, Indigo Flow. This right here. And then turn around and tell you hate women. No, stupid. I don't like you because you're an asshole. And that's why I told y'all. I said it to the ladies on the breakdown, what, a couple of years ago at this point? I don't call women the B word. I call them assholes. And you should see the look on their face when you call them an asshole. Because they know, black women know the B word is coming. White women know the C word is coming. No, I'm not calling you the B word or the C word. No, you're an asshole. And that's why you have the results you have. Right? And y'all talk amongst yourselves, gives Mr. Z 1 minute. And we're back. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Breakfast acquired. And no, Mr. Z didn't go to like a Burger King or McDonald's. Mr. Z went to IHOP. IHOP. Right? Okay. But we will have cooked food for waiting for us. Well, not waiting for, well, waiting for us when we wake up in this afternoon. So there's that. Right? And we're back. Right? So I guess in closing, um what we're getting at is the price of not being honest with your daughters, right? The cost of not being honest with your daughters. Mr. Z is not telling you you need to, you know, be all in the mix of everything your daughter does intimately, sexually. No. But as a person who is out here raising your little, dating your little princess, as a person who has had conversations with your little princess, had non-sexual relationships, non-intimate relationships with your little princess, I want to tell you, you raised a brat. You raised a mean girl. You raised someone delusional. Right? So on one end are the women who's raised by the single moms who are a terror in another way. And then on the other end are daddy's little girls, daddy's little princess, who never got the real. Dad never, and it's not up to your wife to do that. That's your job. Your wife don't know how men think like that, like that. That's your job. It's not up to your baby mama to do that. When your wife, when your ex-wife, when your baby mama, when your girlfriend says something foolish, oh yeah, well, if he loves you, he'll do this. It's your job to be like, actually, yeah, that's not how we move. Yeah, we don't think like that. How old is he? 27? Yeah, he ain't thinking like that. How old is he? 32? Yeah, he not thinking like that. I know I wasn't. That's your job. So you could go ahead and be Steve Harvey if you want to. Be Steve Harvey if you want to. Be Dr. Umar Johnson if you want to. Go ahead. And let's see how long you can take it as your daughter goes year after year after year single. and you every so often have to wipe the tears from her eyes. Or if she's not that type of woman, you watch as she just gets angrier and angrier and angrier, and maybe she comes home with another woman, right? And you know that's not how she started. Y'all raise these women this way. And shout out to the Roger Report once again. Shout out to Compassionate and Callous. Great editing once again on Compassionate and Callous' part. Great commentary coming from the Roger Report. And yes, Daddy's Little Princess is a terror in the dating scene. Daddy's Little Princess was either lied to or had her ego stroked a little bit too much. And now she can't get or and can't keep a man. Daddy's Little Princess is a mean girl. She's entitled. She's delusional. She can't make it work with any man. If you're lucky, she looks good enough. If you're lucky, she looks good enough. Where men risk it. And every once in a while, and maybe she traps a man for a few years. Maybe, if you're lucky. But if your daughter is okay looking, maybe not so physically attractive, oh, good luck. Good luck. Good luck on ever walking her down the aisle. Right? Good luck on that. So this is something, for many of you girl dads to think about, raising your little princess. We're not telling you not to treat your daughter well. We're not telling you to be mean to your daughter, to be callous to your daughter. But we are saying, are you going to raise your daughter that she's the center of the universe and that she's never wrong and she doesn't have to consider what the opposite sex thinks about and likes and feels? What they find appealing, what they find attractive, and it doesn't have to make sense to her? Oops. Right? Because if not, nothing wrong with that. That's your child. But there are consequences. Right? And on that note, we'll pause right there. Um, love, peace, and chicken grease. This was my little commentary going on. Well, kind of adding to what the Roger reports had to say, and whatever he disagree with, he'll say it in the comments, or make a video or a live about it. And shout out to the Roger report once again. Shout out to Compassion and Callous for their editing. Great commentary as always from the Roger report. And yeah, just something to think about, right? All you well-meaning girl dads raising absolute terrors, right? Because you don't want to be honest with your little baby girl, and then as she becomes an adult, you still are not honest with her, and then when she is an adult, prime dating age, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, you still not honest with her, right? And Dr. Thunder says, today on Rolling Thunder, call me queen, but don't hold me accountable for my um jurisdiction. Okay. Yeah, well, actually, that's a great extension to this stream. That's a great extension to this stream, Dr. Thunder, actually. Right? That's a great add-on. Because I was speaking about the little girl and the princess. And you're talking about when that princess becomes an adult and thinks of herself as a queen. She still wants princess treatment, by the way. Mixed with queen treatment, mixed with being king, mixed with, maybe this is where Edward Anderson, shout out to the brother Ed, speaks about, TRANS energy. Y'all know I gotta spell it out, I can't say it. Right? Maybe this is where he comes from with that. Right? So once again, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content like Dr. Thunder. Under other non-Manosphere content, like the link in my and once again, shout out to you, Rogish. Bro, that was thank you for linking me to that, because I didn't watch the thing around at least 2 times now fully. Right? So y'all check out the link in my community tab, right? Indigo says, I know you don't think I'm one of your royal subjects. For some of them, you let them talk. Hey, there's a reason why they're attracted to Princella. She's channeling that energy. She's saying the quiet part out loud. Right? So on that note, everyone, y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. Like I said, love, peace, and chicken grease. Go check out other Black Manosphere content like Dr. Thunder, who's streaming, I think, right now. Other non-Manosphere content. And we will end it out right here. All right, everyone. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.